Hello everyone, Voodoo here. So, if you've been a watcher of the channel for a while, it is not a secret that I absolutely adore Survival Hunter. And on the Midnight Alpha, Survival Hunter has gotten like a pretty big rework, and I think it's honestly really fun. So we're gonna take a look at it today. Now, I am not a Survival Hunter expert. I am doing my one court-mandated, not actually court-mandated, but I'm doing my one per patch Survival Hunter video that I randomly do every now and then. If you want constant Survival Hunter content, go check out Leak. I'll link him down below. He's a theory crafter from the Survival Hunter Discord. Chill guy. He's got a YouTube channel now. He streams as well. Cannot recommend to check him out enough. I'm just doing this for love of the game. He's actually going to be doing it very consistently and has much more knowledge than I do. I'm just saying, look at this shotgun. That's what we got now. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out his YouTube channel, and let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the alpha. Now, lots of things have changed, of course, for many specs, but survival was one of the specs that got a pretty ground up rework for most things. Pack leader, their hero talent tree, and to what I can tell, didn't change that much. There's a few changes, I'm sure, but we're not really going to talk about it much today. Again, if you want more survival stuff, check out Leak's YouTube channel. I'll link it down below. The big stuff is that they have a shotgun now called BOOMSTICK that is a major part of your rotation. They really streamlined a lot of stuff. There's a Molotov cocktail you can throw. And it's like really refined and focused around like bombs, around fighting with your pet, and around just like these survival hunter things. Now, it's not as like nature magic-y as it used to be, but it is very now like I'm a gritty survivalist. They also gave the ability to actually dual wield. I wonder if it will show you here. Yes, staff, axe, dagger, and sword. Now, the thing with dual wielding is it's not very good right now because the offhand doesn't count, but there are some things with dual wielding that actually seem pretty cool and will probably mean you might use it. We'll see. That's not really my call to take. But yeah, let's just break it down. So the very first thing you'll notice with this tree here is that this icon is literally a shotgun called BOOMSTICK. Now, functionally, BOOMSTICK is just a replacement for Fury of the Eagle if anyone's been playing Survival Hunter recently, since I think Dragonflight or back in Legion. But yeah, like this is exactly what it says. Right? If I target this training dummy, I go up and I push my BOOMSTICK ability. I'm going to fire off some shotgun blasts. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I think this channel is hasted. These kind of things normally are. I'm in like random ass gear. So that is like kind of a main core rotational thing for Survival Hunter now. And there are a ton of hooks in the tree for it, which is kind of the big reason why I'm like talking about it. So if we just search BOOMSTICK, you can see that every single talent here involves BOOMSTICK in some way. Now, there's some like just like normal stuff to make this cooldown reduced, but there's some like really cool stuff as well. This node in particular really kind of makes BOOMSTICK your major rotational thing, where it either gives you a stack of Mongoose Fury each time, which they've also reworked a little bit, talk about that in a second, or just like reduce the cooldown of your Wildfire Bomb. And if we go down here to this capstone, Wildfire Bomb reduces the cooldown of BOOMSTICK by 2 seconds for each enemy hit, up to 10 seconds. So you actually get this kind of feedback loop where if you're an AoE, the more bombs you throw, the more boomsticks you get, and the more boomsticks you get, the more bombs you get, the more bombs you get, the more boomsticks you get. And it's just this like explosive, like boom, 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 throwing bomb, use my shotgun blast, pew, pew. It's awesome. There's some other stuff here too. This one just deals more crit damage, whatever. This one gives it kind of the focused hatred style. Have a person talks about Demon Hunter thing. It basically makes it stronger, and then it reduces that bonus for every target you hit. So BOOMSTICK is like this major core focus of the tree, which is awesome. They've also reworked the cooldown a bit, so it's now takedown, which is effectively, if anyone's played Survival recently, it is flanking strike and oriented assault as one. So you use it, you go to your target, deal damage. A bunch of talents interact with it as well. You can make it AoE hit. You can have it give you attacks of Tip of the Spear. It reduces cooldown. Stuff like that. Tip of the Spear is still around as a major component, so Kill Command increases the direct damage of your other abilities by 15%, so you consume this. It's a pretty major part of the rotation still. They've streamlined Mongoose Bite. Mongoose Bite's no longer a thing now, it's all just Raptor Strike, but Mongoose Bite is, or Mongoose Fury is just a buff. They made this buff better too, where instead of beforehand where you'd stack it up, the stacks don't overlap, they all go off at the same time. It now has multiple applications overlap. So I go here, I hit the target. You see I have one stack for, we'll say it's like 3 seconds. I do it again, I have 2 stacks, and then I'll go down to 1 stack pretty soon. And yeah, so it's like an Iron Fur now, which is honestly like a lot better, which is really, really cool. And Mongoose Bite itself, well, Raptor Strike, I guess, is also like another main core component of the rotation because of the Apex talent, which is also really sick. So this is Raptor Swipe. So whenever you use it, it has a chance to upgrade itself into Raptor Swipe, which deals damage to 5 nearby enemies. This just makes your stuff deal more damage. Cool. But then this one here makes it so that every time you do it, you do a Raptor Strike, it's always upgraded to Raptor Swipe, and then Raptor Swipe also have an additional Strike as 1 and 310 effectiveness whenever you get Tip of the Spear. Strike as 1 is just a little AoE thing from your, well, a little damage effect from your pet, AoE with a talent. So it creates this rotation where you're hitting your target, and then boom, okay, it's upgraded, Raptor Strike. Hit my target, oh, it's upgraded, Raptor Swipe. So like, that's kind of fun, and this also should key off of every other ability that buffs Raptor Swipe. So there's one in the tree here for Sentinel where it deals damage as Arcane over 6 seconds. That should work in the same way there. We just search Raptor Swipe, or Raptor Strike, sorry. We see like a lot of different talents buff it. There's this one here, Raptor Strike damage increased, critical stuff, Transform Fury is the increased damage next Raptor Strike. So all those kind of things work together and increase it, which is pretty nice. Another big thing for survival is that Kill Command no longer has a cooldown. What this means is that you can actually generate focus on demand whenever the hell you want. So if I'm just like dumping focus here, I can push Kill Command as much as I want. Like I can just sit here, it's not very good, but I can just sit here and just spam Kill Command if I needed to, if I wanted to, whatever, which also does mean that you have technically permanent damage outside of range. Now, is this good? No, this rotationally is not very good. It's not that strong of an ability because you always have access to it, but it is your main focus generator, and also, of course, gives you these Tip of the Spear stats, which makes it very good. This basically means that because there's no cooldown on it, you are limited by your Fury again, which is great, and also it means that Tip of the Spear basically can be up on almost every single ability. So, which is, again, like, really good, and I think is a really good mechanic for Survival Hunter because it's just like it works pretty well. The final thing is, of course, well, not the final thing in the talent tree. Sentinel was also reworked pretty heavily. Let me just get my pet off this guy. The final thing, of course, is Flamefang Pitch. Flamefang Pitch, which honestly seemed a little lackluster in me playing with it. Basically, what it is like a little Molotov cocktail that's thrown on the ground. It has a minute-long cooldown, so we'll show you this after. Because I do want to show you some like gameplay with this stuff. There's also this whole like bleed package in this tree. Bleed its target, bleed effects deal more damage, Outland Venom, which was around before. You can make Wildfire Bombs, pure effective bleed now. There's some bleed stuff in Pack Leader, I believe. I guess we can just look up bleed, eh? The problem with the bleed stuff is that it seems pretty weak right now. Like you have Shrapnel Bomb, you have Bloodseeker, attack speed, you have Sick'em, which is Kill Command crits bleed, increased bleed damage, and then you have more bleed damage here. There's just like not a ton of bleed damage, and they're fairly weak from what I've seen and what like others have tested. Obviously, I don't do a ton of Survival Hunter testing. I'm a Demon Hunter person, but they seem kind of lackluster, which obviously is unfortunate. Oh, one more thing with Kill Command, by the way, reduces Wildfire Bomb cooldown, so that's a pretty nice loop with Boomstick and Bomb. Anyways, I'll show you guys this. So if we go this way. Now, is my rotation going to be bad? Oh yeah, it's going to be bad. I think we probably just start off with Takedown, right? So we go Takedown, we get our Bomb. Now, there's also upgrades Takedown into a Chakram because of Sentinel, which is awesome. And like you can see the loop is starting to go here, right? Like I use my bombs, and my bombs reduce the cooldown of my shotgun. My shotgun reduces the cooldown on my bombs, and it all kind of works together in like this really nice harmony where your main thing is you're spending focus with your Raptor Strikes, you're building up to bombs, you're building up to Raptor Swipes, you're buffing your Boomsticks, and as you Boomstick more, you get more bombs. And it's this really like fun gameplay loop that I've actually like really been enjoying. Am I playing it properly? No, I've only been picking this up for like maybe an hour tops. But like the way everything works together, I think works out really well. And means that for the most part, you're able to buff almost everything with Tip of the Spear, except for just like normal Raptor Strikes, which is like totally fine. Like it happens sometimes. But like this stuff is great. You get your Chakram, you can throw your bombs out now. Because you throw your bombs, you can Boomstick, you get a bunch of bomb CDR from your Boomstick. Like it works quite well and is pretty fun. Now, I think there is a bit of a downside where it doesn't seem like it'll be that different between AoE and single target, but also at the same time, that seems kind of like what Blizzard is going for. which is definitely something, but like I think it's still pretty fun. Like having more boomsticks and AoE, like I'm only hitting like 3 targets there. You hit, was it up to 10 seconds? You hit 5 targets, you're getting 20 seconds off every time or 10 seconds off every time you use a bomb, which is really awesome. Now, if you were watching that, you probably saw some blue effects come out of the sky. That is the new rework Sentinel. So beforehand, what would happen is I don't know how long it is, every so often when you throw a bomb, this big like circle would come down from the sky and would deal a bunch of damage inside of it. There's this whole like dot component to the thing. It was kind of a weird tree, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was very reminiscent of the Kyrian Hunter. That was totally where their inspiration was from. But I like didn't really work that well. Like it was fine, but it was just like pretty passive stuff like that. This is also passive, but it has some cool new things. So basically now what happens is whenever you consume Tip of the Spear, you summon your owl, which marks your target. Now, you have a 20% chance, to mark your target. Whenever you go to takedown, you always do it as well, which is here somewhere. Where is it? Here we go. Takedown always summons it. So you summon this guy, it marks your target, and whenever you wildfire bomb that target, it consumes the mark and deals more damage. Now the thing with that too is whenever you consume the mark, it causes arcane things to rain down. I don't know where that, it's probably down here. So when Sentinel's mark is consumed, summons a barrage of lunar missiles dealing damage in 10 yards. So you mark your target, you throw a bomb at it, lunar shrapnel rains down, which is really sick. And there's also other benefits to it. Where is it? Here we go. When your Sentinel Owl applies mark, you reduce the cooldown of bomb by 6 seconds. So you're getting more bomb CDR, and more bomb CDR means more boomsticks. More boomsticks means more bomb. It really feeds in the whole like loop thing, which honestly is really fun, and I've really been enjoying it. There's other stuff here too. The big other cool thing is this one, Moonlight Chakram. So for 15 seconds after casting Takedown, it is replaced with Moonlight Chakram. Throw a Chakram blessed with Moonlight at your current target that will rapidly deal damage 7 times, bouncing their targets if they're nearby. It deals more damage each time it bounces, and then you can make a little choice here. Throwing your Chakram reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by 10 seconds. Again, more bombs, we're blowing shit up, or just deal some AoE damage. So if you're watching when I did this, we just take down in here, applies my mark, then I can throw my Chakram, which I am wasting bomb CDR, but whatever. My target's marked, pretty cool effect. We throw a bomb, Owl comes down, marks again, it gets rid of it summons a bunch of lunar things, throw our bomb, lunar things, and now we'll try and consume our Tip of the Spear stacks to get another mark. Okay, the Owl went down over there, which I guess is fine. Although I do wonder if I throw my bomb and it cleaves. Okay, it works. You just have to hit your bomb at all on the target, which is honestly like pretty sick. So I think the way they've reworked Sentinel also works pretty well. I just love using the Chakram personally. I think it's really fun. Seeing the Owl come down is a pretty cool visual. Seeing the lunar shrapnel happen is pretty sick as well. And like in general, like Survival Hunter is just cool. Let me call my pet away again. Now for Pack Leader, they've done a few things to it that I don't really know, honestly. They make a key into this ability called Hatchet Toss, which is like the funniest thing ever. So it's like, it's this infinitely usable thing. It's just like a really weak axe you throw. It is the slowest moving projectile I've ever seen. Like, I'm throwing an axe and it's traveling that slow. Like, that's kind of funny. But there's some things that key into it, namely Hog Strider, where it deals more damage and strikes on our target, which is like fine. But Pack Leader is mostly the same. You summon your pets. The tier set for Stampede is in there. This is basically like the Rex Art one. Now, the other cool thing, again, I talked about is the Flamefire patch. You notice I just kind of took talents. This one's called I Don't Know, but with Molotov cocktails, and this one's just called I Don't Know. Flamefang Patch, you just throw on the ground, it deals damage. So it's kind of like Flame Strike for mages, I guess. But again, like, that has its own problems. There are 2 talents that key off of it. So one of them gives you an additional charge of Flamefang Patch to minute cooldown, but it also gives you a charge of Wildfire Bomb when you throw it, which is kind of nice. It's one I have. Then there's Wildfire Imbuement. So throwing your Flamefang Pitch imbues your weapon with flame, causing you and your pets damaging attacks and ability to deal additional fire damage for 10 seconds. So we'll talk about that in a second, right after I show you this. So we throw our Flamefang Patch, boom, big fire explosion, and now it's going to deal damage over time. We throw our bombs out, and I throw my Flamefang Pitch again, it gives me a full charge of bomb. So there is like synergy there. It looks kind of cool. I think the big problem here is that, again, like, these things are pretty easy to move out of. Tuning wise, it seems fine, but also it seems kind of low. I don't really have a good grasp of what's strong and what's not on some of these abilities. 1 minute cooldown that deals that much versus like Boomstick, which deals more damage. It doesn't seem that insane. But the thing I don't want to talk about is the two-handed stuff. So This whole time you're probably like, oh, Voodoo. Well, I don't know. Voodoo, by the way, if you're new here. Survival Hunter can use axes. Now, I don't have any. They don't give you any, unfortunately. Or does this chest give me some? This chest might. I haven't checked. I'm assuming it gives me a gun. Yeah, I don't have any two-handed weapons or one-handed weapons. Anyway, so the idea behind one-handed weapons is that you get like more attack speed and the ability to use two enchants. But for Survival Hunter right now, you don't actually get any benefit from the offhand weapon. So for dual wielding specs, what happens is your main hand weapon damage attributes, or is it? I don't remember. Your main hand basically attributes more to your damage. So the higher level main hand you have, it matters much more. Your offhand does as well a little bit, but it's mostly just there as a stat stick. Right now for Survival Hunter, just the main hand's attributing. The offhand isn't actually giving that much, so it's a little bit weaker, but you do get two enchants, which is good. And there's a few actual things in this tree which do key into them. So if you look up auto attack here, so the big thing with dual wielding is that auto attacks happen more often, which means you deal more damage with them. So something like this, where your auto attack damage is increased, well, that's going to be a slight buff to one-hander, so dual wielding. Also, there's this one, lethal barbs. Your auto attacks grant 2 focus to you and your pet, and auto attack damage is increased. This is a pretty big deal. I believe Leak has a whole video about this, so go watch that. But it does mean that you get a lot more focus from your auto attacks, which is pretty good. The final thing is that a Wildfire Imbuement also keys off auto attacks. So this means that if you are dual wielding, you will auto attack more often and get more damage from Wildfire Imbuement. I'm not really sure. A lot of times when specs have the option to play both dual wielding or not dual wielding, it gets a little weird in terms of like, normally one is better. Like, you know, it's a cool thing, but we'll see how it works out. It also puts a weird like gearing thing into a spec, right? Like if we look at the dungeon journal here, even like the raid boss journal. Oh, I forgot I did this shit. Let's look at just like the Void Spire. We look at loot, we look at weapons. Main hand, I guess. There's now a bunch of different weapons you can get. We just go down to survival. So Survival Hunter has 3 different weapons from this raid. Beforehand, it would have 1, maybe 2, right? So the big thing here is that like if you have one-handers and you get a two-hander, like you're like, oh shit, I don't really want that. The inverse is also true. If you get a two-hander and you get like a high-level one-hander, then you also can't really use that. It also does bring into the thing with daggers. So daggers have a faster attack speed. So if you look at speed 1.8 versus 2.6, which further gives into the auto attack stuff. So it might be a world where Survival Hunter plays daggers, might be a world where they don't. Hard to really say. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the spec. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. Just like playing around with it. It's something that I really recommend people give a try. If you have beta access, make a Survival Hunter and just like play around with it. Again, you know, I'm not gonna make Survival Hunter content very often on this channel. I'll do it from time to time when I'm having fun with it. But it's one of those things where I quite enjoy this spec. I think the spec's pretty cool. I think its visuals are pretty nice, especially with all the new things. I think the shotgun's really fun to press. And I just generally like the rotation of it. Having your little pet beside you, you know, all the visuals are really nice. It's a pretty fun spec, and I really recommend giving it a try. So that's probably it for the in-game portion. We're gonna go end the video. All right, there you go. Survival Hunter, Rexar, rah. But like, yeah, like this spec is gas. Like it's really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. They've done a lot to it. I'm not covering like the minutiae, like the minor little details here, just kind of a big overview of everything. But like the visuals are awesome. The rotation is really fun. I love Boomstick. Boomstick is such a fun button to push, and the cyclical rotation of Boomstick, bombs, Boomstick is a really fun loop that I think actually works so well for the spec. Again, if you want to know more about Survival Hunter, I'm not your person. Go ask Leak down in the description. I'm linking his YouTube channel. He's pretty new to the YouTube game. I think he's under 1,000 subs. So if like 20 of you go there, that's huge. If 300 of you watch this video and go there, insane. Go sub to Leak. Great guy. Yeah, so hope you guys all liked the video. I will have probably a Devourer guide for beta coming out sometime this week. And then back to kind of regularly scheduled Demon Hunter stuff. Unless you guys want to see other specs covered, I guess. But Survival is like a baby of mine. I really like Survival. So I won't be as enthusiastic for others. Maybe like Devastation Evoker I also play sometimes. The rest of them, not too much. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Again, big announcement actually this week, probably tomorrow on Tuesday. But otherwise, go check out Leak. You guys are great. Peace. A big shout out to all of my viewers, but especially to my channel members. With you guys' support, it helps keep the channel going. Thank you to Rohan, Karnik, Correlated, Alexander Trifunovic, Fear Redefined, Loose Change, Vasu Terceros, Zuligan, Dupin, Senzai88, Spaghetti, Gabriel Correa, Magic Man 133, and Falafel Dark Terror. Thank you all so much. I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys want to support the channel and help me grow, consider becoming a channel member down below, or you can go sub to me on Twitch as well. It also helps. Again, I appreciate everybody just watching and liking and commenting. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.